I woke up to the sound of the smoke alarm and also my brother screaming. And I knew from the sound of his voice that it wasn't just, you know, he wasn't just calling me to get up. I could also hear this strange crackling noise as well from the room next door. And I opened the door and saw all these flames kind of coming out of his room, blocking my access essentially out of the room. And I just didn't know what to do.
Yeah. And obviously, I've never been in such a circumstance, but you think, do you run out the door? Do you go hit the window? Where are you at with all of that?
Well, I mean, everything's coming at you so fast.
Sure.
So I was only 18, so obviously I was sure that nothing was actually going to happen to me, because I had my leaving cert to do. You know, I had stuff to do. I didn't have time for this. I just kind of thought that the house would, you know, be damaged or my notes would go up in flames. Yeah. So I was kind of thinking about my notes from my leaving cert and what was, you know, where was my brother in all this. And I didn't really worry that much about getting out of the room because I lived so close. My mum's house is so close to the fire station on the Kilbarrack Road. So I was sure that they'd just come get me. But the smoke got thicker and I couldn't get out. So I tried to break the window and there was one big pane and 3 small panes. And I was kind of lifting the chair and throwing it at the window, but there was a vacuum between the air inside and the air outside because the fire kind of eats all of the air inside. So
the window can't break? Not
at all. That's why you need the sharp, you know, the little sharp hammers that they have on buses and stuff. And I just couldn't get out. So I probably lost consciousness there.
Yes. There's a hero. Is there a fireman that you speak about? Tell me about him.
Well, funnily enough, I wouldn't have known the story if it wasn't for Dublin Life. I met a friend of his in a pub and set up a meeting, so he told me the rest of the story. Because I always thought that I threw a duvet over my head and I ran down the stairs and that's where they found me. Yeah. But actually it turned out that he borrowed a ladder from the next door neighbour, climbed up the back of the house bravely. I think he wasn't long in the job, and jumped down. Yes, exactly. Broke the window, jumped down, and kind of you shuffle around and search with your feet. But you know, I wondered, did he actually find me just by landing on me? And that was the only reason he actually found me, because the smoke was so thick that he wouldn't have found me.
And he got you out of the house. And alive, thank goodness. And how many weeks...
I wasn't really alive when he pulled me out of the house, because I was revived on the front lawn, you see. They actually had to, you know, my heart wasn't beating, I wasn't breathing. So I was revived on the front lawn in front of, you know, my brother screaming, and, you know, my mum got the call to say both of her children had been injured in a fire and the police were coming to get her and bring her to the hospital.
How